This Pride Month, Unleashed brings voices from across our community together for a powerful roundtable conversation. Stories of identity, chosen family, resilience, and pride. Because no matter who you are, you belong here. Now here is your host, Pup Twigs.
June is Pride Month, a time to celebrate who we are, where we come from, and the communities that have carried us when the world tried to tell us we didn't belong. Pride is more than parades and flags, it's survival. It's chosen family. It's the courage to live authentically in a world that hasn't always made space for us. Here on Unleashed, we honor the LGBTQIA+ community in all of its forms, the loud, the quiet, the bold, the questioning, the kinky, the playful, the leather-clad, the pups, the handlers, the allies, and everyone still finding their place. This episode is about visibility, joy, and truth. It's about being unapologetically yourself and knowing you are not alone. No matter where you are in your journey, you are valid, you are seen, and you are worthy of love. As you listen today, I invite you to do one thing. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear they belong. Use your voice, your platform, your pride to lift up queer creators, protect queer spaces, and support the communities that keep us safe. So take a breath, settle in, and let's celebrate Pride Unleashed. Welcome to a special episode of Unleashed. It's our roundtable, and today I've just got a full cast on here. I'm Pup Twigs coming to you from Orlando, Florida, and we're just going to take off and let everyone do a quick introduction of themselves. So we'll start off with Melancholy. You're on mute.
That would help, wouldn't it? Wow, that was a really good start. I'm Show Me Leather, Miss Missouri Leather. I am out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I am Ace, and I'm happy to be here, and I go by she, her, they, them.
All right. Spyder Pup.
Hey everybody, I am happy to be here today, and I am from Coquitlam, British Columbia in Canada, and I go by he, them, and puppy.
Awesome. Markosias.
My name is Markosias Fang. I am he, him. I am Arrow Ace, and I am the Alpha to Pack Dissidents. And it's nice to see everyone.
Pup Harlow.
Hi everybody, Pup Harlow here. Currently out of Orlando. My pronouns are he, him, they, them, and I am a prior title holder, Puppy Montrose 2023 out in Houston, Texas.
Awesome. Pup Atlas.
Hey everybody, Pup Atlas here, based out of Denver, Colorado. Known on mostly Instagram as the Singing Puppy. Do a lot of cover songs, mostly pop songs there. I go by he, him, and really excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Alpha Pup Bruzr.
Oh, I am Alpha Pup Bruzr, also known as Animal J. Smith, performance artist and composer based in San Francisco. Currently, I'm on the road with my presentation called Pup History, 40 Years of Bark, Bite, and Belonging.
And then Hobbs, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Hobbs and married to Spyder Pup, so based in Coquitlam, BC as well.
Awesome. Glad you guys are all here. I have to ask Bruiser real quick. Is it have been 40 years now as a pup?
Uh, uh, I've been up for 30 years.
Did I lose you, Alpha Pup? We might have lost him. So we'll just go ahead and get started with these questions here. So the first one I want to ask is, what is one word that describes what pride means to you? Let's start with Markosias.
So one word that describes pride for me right now is basically protection. I say that in a way as protecting our history, protecting our current rights, and protecting our, our community, our fellow siblings, and everything. Just because it's kind of a difficult time right now, so a lot of
Mhm.
pride now is protecting our spaces that we currently have, and protecting our future spaces and our future generations of people within our communities.
Yes, yes, I agree with you totally. What about you, Spider Pup? What does pride mean to you?
I think it's the same thing. It's similar. It's safety, and pride also means just family to me. Just family globally around the world. Like, you can go anywhere and to be yourself. You can go to any other part of the country and in the world and be yourself and just meet so many people around the globe. And I love that about just being in part of the LGBT community just overall. It's just a sense of that whole family is just and everything is beautiful.
Yes, yes. Well, thinking about, has your relationship with pride changed over the years? And if so, how? What about Hobbs? Let's go with you.
For me, really, my relationship really hasn't changed with Pride over the years. Um, the first Pride parade I went to was in Edmonton, and it was very small and a very isolated, tiny community back then. And this is the late 1900s. Um, Now it has grown so much more, and it's so much more inclusive that I enjoy Pride a lot more. Um, Primarily being just more accepted into general society as a whole. So
Hmm.
I love it very much.
Okay, all right. Um, what part of your identity are you most proud of now, Melancholy?
I think the the most proud point that I have of my identity of itself is the fact that I'm accepting the fact that I am an asexual person. I'm on the
Hmm.
asexual spectrum. I'm demisexual, and being able to accept that and say, yes, this is valid, and yes, this is who I am, and seeing other people within the LGBTQIA community, embracing it and saying, yes, it is valid. And sometimes, yes, it feels like the odd man out, but we also are very good at making spaces for others.
Hmm. Pup Atlas, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably echo what some of the other pups said here. Just being a lot more open with myself and who I am. At a young age, prior to coming out at the age of 21, 13 years ago, I used to hold in a lot, especially emotionally. And now, whether it's through music or just being honest with myself and who I am, and the identity that I hold true to, I feel like I don't hide nearly as much. Still learning more and more about myself every day. So that
Hmm.
I'm very proud of. And it's really thanks to the community, the pup community, the LGBT plus community as well, um, in fostering that confidence and courage to be honest with myself, I'd say.
Okay, all right. Well, has anyone ever felt pressure to fit a certain vision of what we call queer enough? We'll start out with Harlow.
So that's a great question, and it took me some time to really think about it, just surrounding the quote unquote queer enough. I wouldn't necessarily say the queer enough. I think for me, being on the spectrum of being called like a muscle puppy,
Hmm.
it has its positives and negatives. And it's been tough at times. And I know some of y'all on the call may know of me or have heard my name, but it's when some people say that I'm unapproachable or standoffish or intimidating just due to my size, in a way that's very hurtful because and I've been on my fitness journey for 9 years. November will mark it 10. And that's just more of a self-discipline that I chose to do for myself. So, when in reality, I'm a very big introvert. It may not seem like it at times, just from being a prior title holder. But it is harder for me to go up to people and say hello just because I don't know what they know or what they've heard of me or how they feel. If they, in their mind, if they feel that they don't fit the realm of, oh, well, he's a muscle puppy or he's a bigger person, et cetera. So, and even in my hood, and kind of like what Summer had spoken on earlier, you can be, um, who you want to be freely. But again, being a known puppy has made it difficult at times, especially again in situations where I'm uncomfortable because I am interacting with someone who may possibly not feel comfortable or not
Yeah.
so much care.
Okay. Alpha Pup Bruiser, what about you? Have you ever felt pressure to fit a certain version of Queer Enough?
Hell no. My take on it is kind of maybe out there, maybe kind of unique because of my age. I'm 64 years old, been a pup for 39 years, and I'm one of the original pups. I work in pup history as a researcher, and having been here at the beginning, the big struggle was to assert myself as a dog role player, as a pup, and overcome the community resistance to such a thing. So in that sense, there was pressure against being, fulfilling my queer identity. But over the years, because my life as an activist, my life as a performing artist, and my life as a pup, where I've been 24/7 lifestyle with my family, it has become more and more part of my natural way of being. Everything unites, everything hangs together. One part of my life lifts up the other one, and they all, as I go through the years, as I go through life with my family and life in the community, as I see Pup World growing and expanding, it's much easier to be able to embrace that part of what makes us all so queer, as a queer artist, as a queer activist, and as somebody who fully embraces and hopes to be an example to Pup World as we go through it and as we grow. That's so if I feel pressure, it's to fulfill that queer identity as we go along.
Okay. Pup Atlas?
Yeah, I just kind of want to echo there what Alpha Pup Bruiser was saying too, right? As an artist of any sort, whether it's music or any type of art, we often associate if people like my art, then they like me. And
Hmm.
that's really hard to wrestle with, especially as a content creator, right? Putting songs on the internet, putting yourself out there. I have felt pressure before to be like, why don't you do more, pop or excuse me, gay icon songs, right? Lady Gaga, Madonna, such. I love those artists, absolutely. But there has been some pressure sometimes to do more of what I should be doing, quote unquote.
Okay.
And I oftentimes will put something out there and you start to self-reflect and think, oh, this one didn't get as much engagement, so people don't like it. They don't like me as much unless I sing a Lady Gaga song. And as I mentioned, I love those artists, but it has created a sense of pressure occasionally to
Okay.
be queer enough. So
All right. Melancholy?
I would say that especially as a female in the queer leather space, there's not a lot of us, there's not a lot of us, but to be able to create an impression and be impressionable with other individuals and like-minded individuals, and being able to really expand that out and say, hey, there is space for us, and trying to make space, just kind of like Alpha Pup Bruiser was doing with being a pup. It's also about saying, hey, we're here also, and it's not to push or pull, it is just to be a part. And I feel that sometimes it does feel like man, I am the odd man out, but also it's my responsibility as a female title holder to say, hey, I may be the odd man out, but I gotta make sure that I'm in and I'm communicating and I'm there, because then they know I am a part of this community.
That's right. Yes. Well, I'm going to start off here with Pup Harlow on this one. What's a moment of queer joy that still sticks with you today?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah,
It froze. We had a second.
what's a
Sorry.
moment of queer joy that still sticks with you?
Um, I'm gonna say, oh gosh, I think it's June 2015, June. I think it's like late June 2015 when gay marriage was legalized for
Mm-hmm.
us in all 50 states. That was such a big win for us, and being married to a gay man, and being able to celebrate that just as any one of us has wanted to or has done in the past. That's something that I think even to this day, um, and how going down into the future is something that's going to stick with me because we still have people trying to overturn that,
Yeah.
which is just insane, in today's society. But that's definitely something for me that will always stick with me. So
Okay. Let's get a perspective on the same question from Canada uh, about a moment of queer joy for you all. Either
Uh,
one, Hobbs or Spider
you know
Pup,
what?
or both.
Without a doubt, for me, it was the day I decided to wear my really bad Amazon pup hood to the Pride Parade.
It was
Um,
still cute.
it was. I don't know why. I had bought two or three before, and I just it was still a red and blue, and I wore it. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna wear it to the Pride Parade for this day. I didn't take it off the whole day. There was actually no pup community. It had disbanded quite a few years prior, and locally, and they were just beginning to get back. And I saw the parade go by, and the pups were walking with one of the other groups, and they came over and they gave me a nose boop, and we pawed, and that was it. 15 years we've been down in BC. We didn't have any gay friends, none in like 15 years or like, well, 13 years, none, like one person. And the day that I decided to become a pup and we got accepted, my life has changed. And then meeting all of you globally, meeting Twigs, both of us doing a podcast. I mean, this all stemmed from one day at a Pride Parade, just making that choice to wear that hood,
Yeah.
and it has changed my life indefinitely. I would never take it back.
Melancholy, I saw your hand up, so
Sure. That was really beautiful and adorable. Both of you are adorable together. Um, the one thing that really made me happy was I was at Claw this year teaching, and I was able to go into a class that Neo, Mr. Cleveland Leather, was holding for just people who were ACE oriented. And it was so nice to be amongst other ACE individuals and hear how our perspectives are so vastly similar, to know that like I'm not alone, because there's not, I feel like there's not a lot of us, but there
yeah.
is a good amount of us, and to be able to get that perspective was just very joyful.
Yeah. Pup Atlas, I saw you had your hand up.
Yes, Twigs, I know you and I have talked in the past about this, but I want to say the moment of queer joy is the moments where I receive a message from someone that is scared to put on a pup hood and they've really considered it and they haven't really built up the courage, and how they send me a message saying the song I sang, or just seeing me in front of the camera with my pup hood singing is something that really inspired them in their
Yes.
queer journey. So that to me is just incredible. And I won't get emotional right now, but I get really in my feels when I know that I just encouraged or inspired someone
Oh, of
across the
course.
globe. So
Yes. So, how do we protect our mental health during Pride Month? We start off with Hobbs.
Oh, I during Pride Month is for me it's a month of being able to actually be myself
Mm-hmm.
in public, out in general society, and not have to worry about what somebody's going to say or what somebody's going to think. So that entire month, and then following Pride Month is our local Pride Week in August here in Vancouver, and those 2 times of the year are when I'm not stressing. So my mental health is so much more positive during those times because I don't have to quote unquote hide myself
Yes.
out in public as I normally would during the rest of the year.
Okay. Markosias?
I have to agree with that too. I mean, a lot of the times during the like Pride Month, you actually are able to educate a lot of people.
Oh,
So even within the community, I'm
yeah.
transgender. A lot of the times, like during, Pride is when you're talking to people. People are asking questions, whether it's about your puphood, whether it's about the flag that you're wearing during Pride. I mean, it's an excellent time. It's, if anything, Pride Month is very protective of your mental health.
Mm-hmm. Alpha Pup
Yeah.
Bruiser, I'm going to ask you the same thing about your mental health during Pride Month.
Well, I'll tell you, medical cannabis helps. Here in San Francisco, and for the past 15, 18 years, my family and I have lived right in the heart of it. We were half a block off Folsom Street for many years, and out of our back window, we could see the tail end of it as it would trail off of Market Street down Howard. Now we're at Van Ness Market in the height of everything again. And I mean, my first Pride was in 1988, and I was recruited to be a part of the safety team. That was before everything got professionalized with security, and that was the one of the few years that we had to reroute the parade. We came down from the Castro district, which is also known as Gay Mecca, and
Yeah.
we're up on the hill and coming down the hill toward the Civic Center. I remember looking up there. I was like 26 years old, very fresh, had just come out. And I'm looking up and I'm seeing these rainbows, this whole horde of rainbows and everywhere and joy. And as everyone was making their way down the hill and down the street, I felt for the first time that I was where I belonged.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that one moment that sealed it for me.
That's all. I could sit and listen to you talk about your life forever. I just love you to death, man. So what keeps us going when things get really heavy? Can we start off with melancholy on this one?
Oh, yeah. So when things get really heavy, I like to rely on making art, being able
Oh, yeah.
to really take my feelings and how I'm feeling in that moment and express myself, because a lot of that work of doing the art, whether it be t-shirts with my business or painting or even producing a drag and burlesque show, being able to cultivate that into a project and focus on that and focus on the creation of something out of literally the ether allows me to say, hey, it may be really bad, but look what you did. And
Mm-hmm.
look at the progress that you've made. And then it's on to either the next project or being able to say, yeah, I freaking did it. Like, it's that positive reinforcement that you're giving yourself for it.
Mm-hmm. Um, Pup Harlow, what keeps you going when things get heavy?
So for me, I go to one word, and that is tomorrow. Um, Life gets heavy, and there's a lot of things that, are out of our control, in most cases and most times. So I always ask myself, what does tomorrow have? What does it offer? Because it's the unknown that will push me to the point where I want to fulfill that and see that. And I know to some that may not sound like a really good answer, but there's been a lot of things that everybody has gone through, myself included. And that's the one thing that I will always seek And it's that or looking forward to something, whether it's something that you have coming up, whether it's a trip, being able to see a friend for lunch, a holiday, et cetera, whatever it may be. So I always try to look again at something that is in the unknown that could always have a positive outcome for myself.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, what would you say to someone that's listening right now that feels alone? Pup Bruiser?
Oh, I think Alpha Pup had his hand up, but the
Oh,
background.
let's go back to that then. Alpha Pup Bruiser?
Okay. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I just want
Yeah,
to make sure.
yeah.
I want to take this question because this is something that I've begun to talk about on the road this year, and it's long troubled me. We hear about the loneliness epidemic, quote unquote, here in American society,
Mm-hmm.
and because I have kind of a semi-prominent role in pup world, I hear from pups literally all over the world who are saying to me, "Hey, I'm trapped here. I'm 40 miles from the nearest pup." Or I'm 20 years old and I'm still living at home with my parents. I can't express myself. And extrapolate from there. And they are, people are, pups especially, are feeling so isolated.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what can we do about that? What do I say? I say, we see you, we hear you, we are as with you as fully as we can be as our voices and images bounce off the ionosphere and come from my desk to your desk, my phone to your
Mm-hmm.
phone. And I am dedicated, it's a two-pronged thing. I'm dedicated to maximizing our digital connections. And through an activity I'm developing called bonding, inter-pack bonding, bonding across the miles, I'm looking for ways to bring the pup community closer, both organizationally and individually. And especially given my recent um, uh, trip to Claw, where I presented the workshop, and Melancholy Ghost, I think you can speak to that. It's a wonderful thing
Yes.
when you can put the flesh and blood and breath behind the people we've grown to know and love in cyber, to literally flesh it out. I'm working on initiatives that are going to bring pups closer together, whether we bring pups to us or we go to them. We don't have to wait for conventions to gather. We can set up
Yes.
meetups. We can hit the road. We can go to places like Syracuse and Fort Wayne and Raleigh, places where there are active pups. But if there's one pup club in town and your ex runs it and you're not on good terms with your ex, well, what do you do? Where do you go? I don't have a solution for that. I'm not a billionaire pup. I can't I can't bring everybody together. But what I can do is try to work on solutions and make the differences in my own life, in my own context, in my own community, and put in ways like this, put it out to other pups. We begin to brainstorming. We begin to find solutions that make us a stronger community and give us that sense of connection and fellowship until such time as things open up and we
Mhm.
can be together more fully, more frequently.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. So,
Sorry, I
yeah.
just need to jump away for a quick second. Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Okay, all right. So, what does Pride mean to us beyond the month of June? Let's go to Pup Atlas.
Yes, let's make sure I'm unmuted here. Yes, so what does Pride mean outside of June? I'm going to say it's the everyday moments. As I mentioned earlier, just being honest with yourself and allowing yourself to exist as you are. I'm going to say Pride doesn't have to just be, as you're saying, 1 month. It can be every single day, whether it's the art you put out there, whether it's the art you create when you're feeling down, just finding more and more about yourself every day, I would say.
Melancholy?
I think like outside of June, it's activism. Pride is activism, but also activism is out there and it's been out there with
Hmm.
like aside from Pride. So being able to not only enjoy Pride, but outside of it, become an activist for different things, raising money for, different organizations that help our community and other, communities that exist outside the atmosphere of Pride is important because that's a reflection of who we are as individuals of a part of the LGBTQIA. And I think that that's so vitally important because not only is it creating an image for us, but also it's creating the impression that we want others to have.
Okay. Yes. Spyder Pup, what about you?
You know, pride for me is all the time. I am very proud to be in the community. I'm very fortunate. When I became a emotional support puppy, that's my like.
I love that.
I got that specifically because I got trained. I'm a third year youth educator in the school system. So we go to schools and talk to kids about suicide prevention and mental health. And it's going on 4 years. And I bought that after the pup community saw that and they're like, oh my God, you're actually our official emotional support puppy. And I'm like, oh my God, I am. And I bought that tag. I wear my hood 90% of the time out in public all the time. We're very blessed. I was literally at the pub. I walk into restaurants. I go shopping in my pup hood. I wear this thing everywhere. And I am me and I will not change for anybody. So I love it and I support it. I get the questions. And yeah, for me, it's just like same thing. It's just going out and showing the world I am who I am. I'm not going to be ashamed who I am. And I love being there for everybody. And I'm very fortunate for that, and I love it. I've got 5 different pups from around the world, several from the United States that actually call me all the time when they're having an emotional day, because I know I'm trained in suicide intervention training, so I'm qualified to talk someone down from a suicide level event around the world now, and so I'm happy to be there for the community, not just locally, but everybody, and yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
that's important, being there for the community as much as you possibly can. And you do. I follow you on social media. I see what you do. So, well, we're to the last question, and this one is just finish this sentence. Pride is blank. And we're going to start off with melancholy.
Pride is knowing thyself.
Okay. What about Spyder Pup? Pride is blank.
pride is inclusivity. It's love.
Okay. Markosias, pride is blank.
Mm, that is a tough one. I'd probably have to say, yeah, pride is kind of what I said earlier, is pride is protection. It's
Okay.
protecting,
All right. Harlow, pride is blank.
Pride, giving it simple, pride is the freedom to be able to continue to be yourself without fear or judgment.
Yeah. All right. Pup Atlas, pride is blank.
Pride is accepting yourself a little more each day.
All right. Alpha Pup Bruzr, pride is blank.
Pride is what feeds and nourishes the dog in my heart.
There you go. And Hobbs, pride is blank.
Pride is comfort.
Yeah. Oh my, you guys have filled my heart today. Imagine what podcast has done here, bringing all of you guys together for this right here. I mean,
Round of applause for Pup Twigs.
I know we wouldn't be, you really have brought so many pups together in this community. I mean, you should give yourself a big applause
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
100%.
and it's just fun for me.
Mhm.
And speaking for, the Squirrel Hour and Squirrel Hour After Dark up there in Canada, I've been on their podcast and it's just so much fun to be able to do this. I mean, there's a lot of work behind it that people don't see, but just to be able to talk to people from anywhere in this world for just a little bit of time is for me priceless.
Yeah.
And luckily,
we
I've got to
appreciate
meet
the way you
everybody
do it.
on here except for in person, Bruiser and Melancholy.
Yeah.
I have not met you all yet, but who knows? One day we might.
That's the idea. And I would love to exchange contacts. If you've got a Twitch or a podcast or something like that, I'd like to find out. I'd like to give other people the way to contact me as well. So, Pup Twigs, maybe you can facilitate that.
Is everyone okay me sharing everyone's contact information with everyone on here?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
It's fine.
Okay. So I'll
Thank
put that
you.
together tonight and I will get that sent out to everybody so everyone that was on here's contact information. But again, I just want to say thank you guys for carving out a little bit of time for me today. Um, I know it's been in the planning stages for months, but to get this many people together at the same time, we have to do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Everyone has
scheduled
lives.
Marvelous work, man.
Everyone has lives to get to, and we have to plan that far in advance so we can all come together as one. And this is going to be amazing. So thank you guys again. I really appreciate it.
Ew.
So I'm going to let
Thank-
everyone say goodbye. Just don't go anywhere yet. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Bark, 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 bark.
Bark. Purr.
As we close out this Pride episode, I want to remind you of something important. Pride doesn't end when June does. Pride lives in every moment you choose authentically over fear, love over shame, and community over isolation. To those who are out and proud, thank you for shining your light. To those still finding their way or living quietly for now, you are just as valid. And your time will come when it's safe and right for you. We honor the elders who've paved the way, the voices we've lost, and the communities that continue to rise, resist, and redefine what love and freedom looks like. If this episode resonated with you, take action. Support a local LGBTQIA+ organization. Check in on a queer friend. Volunteer, donate, attend Pride events, or simply show up with love and respect. And if Unleashed has been a place of comfort or connection for you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share the show, because visibility saves lives and stories like these deserve to be heard. No matter your identity, your kink, your role, your label, or whether you even have one, there's space for you here. You belong. From all of us at Unleashed, happy Pride, stay proud, stay true, and never forget you are loved exactly as you are.
Harvey Milk, born May 22, 1930, and died November 27, 1978. He was an American politician and the first openly gay man to be elected to public office in California. Matthew Shepard, born December 1, 1976, and died October 12, 1998. Matthew was an American college student who was severely beaten because of his sexual orientation and was left to die in 1998. Marsha P. Johnson, born August 24, 1945, and died July 3, 1992. She was an American LGBTQ activist, sex worker, and performer. She was trans and played a major part in the Stonewall riots in 1969. The Stonewall Inn is a world-renowned gay bar and national historic landmark in New York City's Greenwich Village. It's famously known as the site of the 1969 Stonewall Uprising. The series of spontaneous demonstrations against a police raid is widely considered the catalyst for the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement.